in the last 5 games, so they want to hit this playoffs in really good form.
Aaron Moore has the whistle on the field. Liam Moore is the video referee this afternoon. How do you like it? How do you like it? More.
You've been working on that, haven't you?
The more the merrier. Right, so Salford here. They missed out on the playoffs last year. They finished 7th. The year before, in 2022, they were within 1 match of the grand final where they lost in what they would still say were contentious circumstances at St Helens in the semi-final. And they were in the final a few years back as well. So Salford punching well above their weight in the Super League, I think it's fair to say, in recent years. And certainly under Paul Rowley, who has a 44-41 winning record as coach of the Red Devils. Hull FC have the ball first this afternoon, moving from right to left, and Hull FC in the familiar black and white strip, Salford in red and white. Hull at the foot of the table, just half a dozen points, same as the Broncos. They have a points disadvantage, which is 51 points in their favour at the moment, despite being almost minus 500. Both teams have 2 games left to avoid the wooden spoon. Hull have 2 at home, London have 2 on the road. So Hull favourites to avoid the ignominy of finishing stone last. And that could be their only goal now, Terry, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Hull FC, when they look at this game, they know that they're up against a red-hot Salford side. There's the offload from that man, Essa.
He is the king of the offloads, isn't he? That's his 52nd of the season, a couple behind Hakeem the Dream Maludi of the Broncos. The high hanging kick, it doesn't get much distance, he got plenty of height, but it gives Salford good field position here in their first use of the football, as Dion Cross claimed that. He was highest and he collected the ball and got Salford moving on the front foot. And here's Joe Muller for his first touch of the football. Callum Watkins rumbles over the halfway line. Salford skipper, reborn as a second row forward, the former St Leeds Rhinos centre. Half a hint of a break there was on the cards from Jaden Nikarima. I mentioned the Catalan Dragons, discarded by the Dragons, but reborn himself at Salford, going well there, Nikarima. Sneed, the cultured left boot again from the master marksman. It's spilt, picked up by Salford, but picked up by Hull. In the end, it was bouncing around like the proverbial pinball, but Hull have the football.
Well, they're lucky to get away with that, aren't they? They were under a bit of pressure, and that's what Salford's about. Move the ball, they kick the ball, there's some purpose in the chase. And the ball went backwards from a Salford player, and Hull just really struggling for meters when Salford are on. They're one of the best teams to watch in Super League.
Most teams look for a mixture of youth and experience. This is a mixture of youth and youth, this whole team, really, isn't it? Players, teenage players, players in their early 20s, and really they may well turn out to be great players in the future as they grow and develop here. Another high kick, this time it's collected by Ryan Brierley.
Well, Rod, that's one of the pluses for them. In a really poor year, it's all the young lads that have been given an opportunity and learning. You look at the back line for them, they've got an average age of 22, and that's with the likes of Ed Chamberlain, who's 28, Jack Walker, who's 25. Really young, not a lot of experience, but learning in big games like this.
And we also know that the cavalry are coming next season. Rapid is on his way. Abdul Asiata Amaburu from Salford, Caesar the Geezer from West Tigers, who we saw at Huddersfield and Leeds in the Super League. It wasn't a million miles away. We're winning the Man of Steel 4 years ago. So they're all coming in, and new coach John Cartwright, so we'll see what happens there. Good run there from McDonald. A ball out to this wing here to Ryan. Ryan rumbles over the tackle, but is then eventually chopped down a couple of metres short. Last tackle here. Back to Nikarima. Nikarima is looking for Mark Sneed. Eventually it finds the half-back. Sneed prompts one forward, a teasing one, and Sneed, as it so often is, finds the perfectly weighted kick. It hangs around in goal. It's belted dead. It'll be a dropout.
Well, David Lane just not taking any chances with that. Missed the last 7 games, but he was aware of this kick from Mark Sneed. Again, you just look at the weight that he gets on that kick. He knows how to build pressure. He knows how to manage games. And just pressuring the young back line from Hull.
Salford have not been prolific in terms of tries this season. 77 puts them 7th on the list. And Mark Sneed in that has 25 try involvements. So he's creating or scoring about a third of their tries. Incredible. Nikarima, lovely ball. Gets out to the wing. Here's Lafai. Tim Lafai. Lafai close to the line. Is he over the line? Laffey, Tim Laffey gets over, muscled his way over, sheer strength, and Salford strike early inside the first 5 minutes.
Well, they've got so many threats, haven't they? And you give them that field position and they'll punish you. Tim Laffey, along with Nene MacDonald, two strike centres, and when they shift the ball out to that left-hand side, they are so dangerous, going at the line, pulling defenders out of shape, making everybody outside feel a bit uncomfortable, and you're just wanting somebody to bite in, somebody to stay out. You're trying to go man on man, but then someone's going to make that wrong decision. It opens up for Tim Laffey, and it's a big start in the opening 4 minutes of the game for Salford. They've had all that field position, playing the ball with plenty of speed, and playing on the front foot for the likes of Mark Sneyd and Jaden Nikorima.
Tim Laffey's 8th try of the Super League season. 6 foot tall, 15 stone, and takes some stopping from that short range. Say 8 tries of the season. One of them was last week in the win over the Catalan Dragons. And more often than not, a 4-pointer becomes a 6-pointer when you've got the master marksman Mark Sneyd lining up the conversion. This is his 100th goal attempt of the Super League season. He's kicked 88 in the previous 99. He's on 192 points for the season. He's behind the stat leader Rhys Martin, who'll be plying his trade over across the city at Hokear last season, the current Leeds Rhinos goal kicker. Sneyd. He used to bang him over from all angles on this very ground, but he's missed that one. And that gives the whole fans something to jeer about. They enjoyed that. They had precious little to enjoy in the first 5 minutes, but they enjoyed that. Paul Rowley perhaps less so.
Yeah, again, look at the play over on that left-hand side, so dangerous. Scored many tries over the Mark Sneyd. He remembers his time here fondly. And Tim Laffey knows that his Salford side are so good when they're in the mood. And the challenge for Salford, like I said before, has just been at the best every game that they play now.
Sneyd played 175 times in a Hull FC jersey and scored 1,350 points in the process. It's points, points, points wherever he goes. Points come guarantee with Mark Sneyd. Salford with the early buffer. Any kind of win will do the job for them this afternoon. Singleton, the rumbling run from the big prop. Salford are his 8th club. Been round the block more than once, Big Bad Brad. Sneyd drops the ball inside. That's Laffey again, just threatening to stretch his legs towards the halfway line, just inside his own half as he takes the tackle, and Mellor gets them moving again.
Well, they mix it up, don't they? Play with plenty of power, change of direction, back against the grain. Joe Mellor, the man who's behind dummy half there, the number 24, what a signing he's been for Salford this year.
Sneyd again, the kick. Well claimed, this time by Martin. Hull's 8th try, top scorer. David Litton, not afraid to do his share of the work. And Hull within 10 metres of the halfway line, but they haven't crossed it up to press so far. So it's been hard work so far for Hull FC.
Well, they're doing it tough, aren't they? Trying to find that field position early on in this game. And just see how Salford are defending, getting off the line, trying to stop them. And Will Gardner again, essay with a strong carry. Look, he's that big, you can't dominate him, you can't turn him on his back.
There's the chipped kick. And easy enough for the flying Brierley.
That's probably the best set of 6 that they've had with the ball. It's what they can do on the back of this now, whether they can restrict meters. Look, they're looking to shift the ball over to the left-hand side. They think they have them for speed. And that's the danger. You think you've got them trapped in the corner, and all of a sudden they'll shift it and get you when you're unaware.
Cross. Brad Fash comes in, only his 4th start of the season for Brad Fash. One of Super League's most distinctive figures, and Mellor goes on a little canter. Fash again is involved in the tackle. Aiding too.
We'll get it 10 metres for.
Donald taken down by Gardner, but gets the offload to Mellor, and Mellor looking to shift it from right to left. And here they come again, the Red Devils.
And that's where the trouble is. You know what he's going to do, Nene MacDonald, trying to stop him though. It's a different thing.
Sneed, again, the left-footed kick. It's a long one this time. It's a very deep one. Well, it caused chaos. It caused panic. It caused an error.
Well, that's it. That ball was going absolutely everywhere. You could see Logan Moore just lunging for that. The kick is absolutely wicked. And Mark Sneed, when he sticks them up, whether you're the most experienced fullback in the competition or like Logan Moore just making you wait, his kicking game terrorises you.
When people say, oh, they criticise fullbacks for dropping bombs like that, you really want to invite them. Go and stand under it. See it oscillating, moving, spinning, because the swaz he can put on a kick is frightening. And it's given Salford field position here. Sneed's involved again, Nikarima, and Dion cross. Neon Dion scores in the corner. And that takes his try tally to around dozen for this Super League season, and he becomes, with that, Salford's top try scorer for the season, because as this game kicked off, Cross, McDonald and Braley all had 11 tries in Super League this season. Cross now has got a dozen.
Well, from the set piece again, a brilliant kick to get the field position, to get the chance of attacking Hull's line. They get the scrum. You have to feel for poor Logan Moyer. He was caught out underneath it. It was a wicked kick, and then straight from the scrum, the set piece. You just look how deep that Mark Sneed goes into the line, pulls those defenders out again, and the second try that they've scored over on the left-hand side. And Dion Cross, what a signing he has been. I think he's only missed one game since he's moved from Widnes. Quality player, big winger, plenty of power, knows how to finish.
Well, he knows how to finish, and that is for sure. Paul Rowley enjoying what he's seeing up to press, because inside the first 10 minutes or so his side have scored, well, 11 minutes, his side have scored 2 tries, and Mark Sneed has had one rangefinder from that position after the Lafay try. Now from the cross 4-pointer, he adds the juice, and Salford move into double figures early, 10-0.
Well, Mark Sneed might have a smile on his face in this game, knowing and they've got all the answers. We talked about Jaden Nikarima before, released by Catalan, picked up by Salford, enjoying his time every time he puts on a Salford jersey. And they look pretty hot so far. They've started this game really fast, a lot of intent when they carry the ball, moving it with purpose as well.
Well, they can finish as high as 4th on the league ladder this season, Salford, and that would give them home advantage in the first round of the playoffs against the 5th place team. If they finish 5th, they'll go to the 4th place team, so it will make a difference to try and finish 4th.
It'd be a great game next week, won't it? Round 27, bring the curtain down on the season.
They go to Wigan. Well, with Wigan looking for the victory to nail down the league leaders' shield, so it couldn't be tougher for Paul Rowley's side. Sneed kicks.
But one of the games that I always remember is back in 2019 when they went to Wigan and they beat them to get to the grand final. Hull FC here looking to shift the ball and moving it, and they've got absolutely nothing to lose, Hull FC.
I think I'm right in saying, Terry, they beat Wigan twice, didn't they, in that playoff series? It was one when you didn't get knocked out if you lost first up in Wigan's position. I think they beat them twice.
How to your knowledge on that?
Well, I mean, I am prone to misremembering occasionally. Hull 10 behind on the halfway line.
Solid tackle, Callum Watkins.
As I say, he'll look to offload at literally every opportunity. Can't snake the right arm out this time. He's surrounded and corralled by 4 Salford Red Devils. And the kick comes this time from Walker. Oh, it's collected by Hull. Oh, overhead. Well, that was more like Hull City, who got beat here last night, 2-0 by Sheffield United. But spectacular overhead. It almost came off.
We're just trying to get rid of that ball on the last play. You said David Litton just kicking the ball over the top. Nene McDonald gets it. Again, shifting the ball early in the tackle count.
Well, a real tough overnight job for the ground staff here at the MKM Stadium to turn this from a football pitch to a rugby league paddock in the matter of hours, and as ever they do a superb job in maintaining the playing surface here.
Great shot. And then from young Will Gardner and Brad Singleton on the fronting up some of these young boys, helped by some of the senior boys.
But they're getting a roll on again. Salford. Callum Watkins through the dummy. Looked to offload it to Nene MacDonald, who was waiting to swoop. It was a knock on there, missed by the officials, and now Ryan is on the gallop. He kicks ahead. And again, it's belted dead. It's belted out of the ground almost. And this time it's Barron who's the safety first technique.
Well, again, the short kicking game, if it's not Mark Sneed, it's somebody else. It was Ethan Ryan on that occasion, but when you kick the ball, they always say, don't they, when you're starting up, it's only as good as the chase. He kicks the ball in field, and there's 3 players pushing up, which is forces Barron to come across and just kick it into row Z. We could see another set of 6 here now.
Well, if they can utilise another kicker, that helps, because that, if they're all focusing on Sneed, someone else can get away under the radar. Singleton rumbles forward, is knocked down.
Started off
halfway inside the Salford half. Mellor to Sneed, and Sneed offloads. And they're charging forward again here. And this time it's big Gil Dodson. Dodson on the edge of the penalty area, but more importantly, 10 metres from the Hull FC line. Long floated ball towards Ryan. Ethan Ryan is submerged by black jerseys. Nicarima is in at dummy half here. Sneed says, give me the ball. And Sneed, in-step, little prodded ball, and Fash collects on the deck. And he's knocked down then by Partington.
Well, they expected that kick to come through, then he knew exactly how that play was going to unfold. Brad Fash then and saved the day.
Well, this has been the pattern, Terry, isn't it? Salford making ground relatively easily, and if they haven't scored, they've then pinned Hull back on their own try line. And we're seeing plenty of this running through treacle to get outside their own half, even outside their own 20-metre line, is becoming hard enough.
Well, that's it. Whether you kick early or you kick late in the tackle count, you've got to just turn up and defend that next play. Smith goes for the 40-20. Ryan Bradley, great positioning from him. Yeah, now on the back of all that hard work, Rod, they're just on halfway. That's the reward.
Yeah, and already Hull must feel that this is becoming like pushing custard uphill with a fork.
Well, they're desperate for a mistake from Salford, aren't they?
Or a penalty when they're in possession themselves, and they haven't really had too much of a leg up in either way. Callum Watkins was on the dummy run there, but the pass didn't reach him from Tim Laffey. Mellor, Dodson carts it forward as he's done throughout his career.
Again, plenty of good metres after contact from big Gil Dodson.
Dodson plays the ball. Nicarima reverses the play to MacDonald. MacDonald holding the ball loosely, but then offloading. And that was great from MacDonald. Exhilarating run. And Partington now. Again, central position. Shadow of the post, really. Mellor from right to left. Sneed screams of forward. I think the referee is in accord with the Hull FC faithful.
Well, hits Shane Wright. He just holds onto the ball a bit too long. Shane Wright overruns it, and the big call. There's a big call. You can see he does the double pump. He's looking for Nene MacDonald out the back. He hits the front door instead, and the ball drifts forward.
Well, as we approach the halfway point of this first half, and it really has been pretty much one-way traffic towards the Hull FC try line. And Salford with 2 tries so far from Laffey and Cross, and 1 conversion from Mark Sneed, lead by 10. Smith, SASA, bounces off a challenge, offloads to Charles, and Charles skipping and dancing. But they haven't really got close enough to the Salford try line to put on any kind of attacking move. Moy just feathers a kick forward, and Brierley backpedals to collect. They're appealing for a penalty again as it was taken off the ball, but the referee Aaron Moore is not interested, and play on is the call.
Yeah, he just runs into it. A Salford defender. Was it Joe Mellor? Against some solid defence, but offside. The referee's pinned Will Gardner.
They could do without that, Hull, because they're going to be pinned back inside their own half off this penalty for Mark Sneed.
I guess it's a relieving penalty, isn't it? Will Gardner learn on the goal.
Well, matches today, Huddersfield versus Warrington, 6 o'clock start there, and then 2 hours after that, in France, the Catalan Dragons go up against the London Broncos. And that is a game that will interest Hull FC, because at the moment they're tied with the Broncos on 6 points and have a points disadvantage of 51 points. So even if they lose here and lose next week themselves against the Catalans, Hull FC, they'll be in with a chance of avoiding the wooden spoon. But if they get beat here and London win tonight, London will be off the bottom. So the race to avoid the bottom spot still very much alive here, and the top spot for that matter. This is McDonald. McDonald flings the ball back, collected by Brad Singleton. Singleton, barnstorming burst again from the big man. Mellor is looking to direct the traffic. He'll be looking for Sneed, you would think. Instead it goes to
Logan
Partington.
Field.
Police for back foot. Go for.
Yeah, and that is Lewis, and this is Mellor, and Mellor on fire from dummy half. Joe Mellor. He scored a try like that last week. He scored tries in the last 2 games. He makes it 3 in 3 and makes it 3 in 20 minutes for Salford.
Well, Logan Lewis fresh onto the field, comes up with a big carry. I'm sure it's Gil Dudson he's replaced. On the back of that strong carry, Joe Mellor goes straight, he goes hard. Look, they win collision, they get down, they play the ball quick. You can see Joe Mellor comes in, he's scanning what's in front of him. He just goes the left-hand side. A couple of players switch off. Well, like I said earlier on, what a pickup he has been, Joe Mellor. Finds himself in the 9th position. He's one of those players who played as a 7 growing up when he was coming through the ranks at Wigan. Always took the line on, really tough, and he suits that hooking role.
Well, you say he started his career as a halfback, didn't he, Wigan, and predominantly a witness. Then he played at Toronto, and he's reinvented himself really as a hooker. And he's played a lot of his career under Paul Rowley. Rowley knows him well, he knows the coach well, and he's really been on fire these last few weeks.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, in knowing how to get the best out of the players that you bring in, know what the character's like. And he brought him in, Joe Mellor, and he's had a big influence. Mark Sneed just slopped over another 2 from under the sticks. It's been a professional performance from Paul Rowley's men and Kurt Haggerty's men. You look at the scoreboard, leading by 16, but they've been more pleased with the big fat 0 next to Hull's name.
Well, the last time they came and played here at Hull was last season, and they won by 6-0 points to 14. Cross, Laffey and Shane Wright all bagged a brace. Well, Cross and Laffey already on the score sheet this afternoon. And Mark Sneed kicked 10 goals in that match. He's kicked 2 so far.
Still 1, play on.
There they go again. I will say Brad Singleton's really turned up today. Gets a good offload away. And all of a sudden Hull FC really struggling to control them.
Hearing that Jack Ashworth's gone off for an HIA for Hull as well, so...
Move, keep coming, boys! Go further. Partington.
Hayden has to make the tackle, but you feel that this weight of possession and territory is going to be too much for Hull here. It's almost like a try zone every time they go forward here. McDonald, though, is knocked over. Ryan. Nikarima kicks right-footed across the face of the posts. Knocked on, I thought. Referee agrees.
Yeah, he's under some pressure at Chamberlain, wasn't it? Was it Tim Laffey that goes through? What a set of 6. They've gone from one end of the field to the other. They finish with an accurate kick, put pressure on Chamberlain. And now they've got to contend with a scrum centre field and see what they can come up with. Because Salford are certainly going after them. They're dictating the pace of this game. And at the minute, Hull FC just can't compete.
No, it's really a boa constrictor style performances from Salford. They're just choking the life out of Hull FC. They can't get out of their own half. And Salford are making ground very easily and are threatening the try line every time they get near it. Sneed. Well, that's a loose ball from the halfback. Very loose. Ryan did well to pick it up. Now he engages first gear and second before being knocked to the ground 10 metres out. Mellor scored once. This time it's a passing movement. This time it's Nene McDonald. He doesn't mind an offload either, but not from there, not with that traffic. Mellor again, right to left ball. Partington drops it off. Simple pass this time. Lewis off the interchange bench. As Salford threatened to score again here. 3 tries already on the board. And this will be another, will it? Yes, it will. Stretching out. Brad Singleton.
Got a try. Just check the grounding for his head.
Well, his last try was in April 2022. Is this a try? It's over to Liam Moore, the video referee.
OK, the live decision is a try on field, looking to see if Singleton does ground the ball and maintain possession. So play it on from this point. You see he's in possession of the ball, still in possession of the ball, and the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
Confirmation. Well, a red letter day for Brad Singleton. His last try was in April 2022 when he scored 2 in the same game for Wigan against Wakefield. How about that? A kind of man that makes you look prolific, Terry.
Well, I think he's turned up here with the right attitude. A lot of talk about Herman Essa, and rightly so, and how good he's been. But Brad Singleton's come out of the blocks and he's firing. He's taking the game to Herman Essa, and he's been outstanding in the opening exchange. He's 24 minutes gone. Every carry has caused some issues in the whole defensive line.
I'll tell you what, for a man not used to scoring tries, that was a good finish, because he kept the ball carrying arm off the ground, stretched out legitimately and legally to touchdown. Good try.
Yeah, excellent play from him. Well, they're punching into space, and if there's not space in front of them, they're creating it themselves. So the play the ball speed is just really upsetting Hull FC. They can't get off the line. Brad Singleton is a big man. He's been around the blocks. He knows how to come onto the line. He knows what angles to run at the try line. And you've just got to get your body in front. You've got to hit him, try and stop him. Hit him up top instead of like going down low and allowing him to fall over the line.
Well, this looks like being a lot more comfortable an afternoon for Salford than it was when the sides met over in Salford in early July, when the Red Devils got home 22-20, having been held 6-all by Hull at half-time in that match. So this looks like being a real breeze for the Red Devils. 4 tries already, 20 points on the board. Good ball again out to Dion Cross. Cross squirms out of tackles. If he gets free there, there's trouble here. Brad Fash says, not today, Dion. And they ride him back to the halfway line.
Again, just falling off the tackle. Some strong carry from Dion Cross, but you've got to be better.
Bullock living up to his name with a charging run. Oh, he's broken the tackle. Joe Mellor. Can he offload? At the 3rd time of asking, no, sir. Mark Sneed has ball in hand. Now ball on his left boot, and that can spell trouble. That's a good claim.
Great take, wasn't it, from young Dave? You're letting I think it was. And Brad Fash over on the right-hand side for Hull FC. Jumped the line and just opened up the space for Joe Mellor to run. And I said Joe Bullock onto the field. Fresh, his go forward will be really big in this game. Come on for Brad Singleton. So he's got to keep that intensity high. Ollie Partington gone looking.
Well, Hull have just not had a look in here at all. Their forays into the Salford half have been sporadic, and they certainly haven't got within sight of the try line. That's Fash. He can't get free. Plays the ball. And the kick once more from Charles. High one this time. Gathered on his own 20-metre line by Brierley. And Brierley makes another 5 or 6 metres before being knocked down.
We'll just probably need to kick that ball a bit deeper as well into the corner. Brian Brierley find it really easy to catch that ball then. Instead of going short, get a bit more depth on it.
That was Cross. This is Mellor. And that's Ethan Ryan coming across from the right wing into the centre of the field. would be in the football centre circle, but as it is, he's just a yard or metre inside the Hull FC half. But you feel they can make yardage from anywhere. That's Bullock again. Bullock is ridden down.
6 again, too slow.
Miller comes in. 6 more. Set restart. More misery for Hull. More problems for Hull.
Well, it is, especially because it was on the 4th tackle.
But desperation is causing mistakes. Mellor says, go back this way. Bullock.
Oh, that was forward.
Oh, and Briley came in on pace. Mellor again. Another try coming here, is there? Not this time. But tackles to go. 3 of them left in the bank here for Salford. In the shadow of the post. Mellor again. Back it comes to Nicarima. Now Callum Watkins. Watkins saw half a gap, but it's shut. The door was slammed in Watkins' face. That's Nene McDonald. Went for the short-range burst. Didn't come off. Nicarima the kicker this time. Landing on the line. Palm backwards. Picked up by Sneed. Fumbled by Sneed with a try at his mercy. But he spurned the opportunity.
Well, desperate to get up, play the ball. I thought there might have been a little bit of a touch from Hull FC, but they managed to get the ball. They come down, again doing a decent job at the back. Tim Laffey just getting over Ed Chamberlain and patting that ball backwards. And they're really struggling here. Now, they need as many dummy runners as they can get. The man who's going to carry the ball, they need some options around him.
Okay. Move square Nene. Is that third?
Well, Salford relieved Tony Smith of his duties. Hull relieved Tony Smith of his duties in April this year. He'd won 11 of his 34 games in charge. Since then, Hull have won 2 of 18 games for a win rate of 11%. Under Smith, it was 32%. So things haven't got any better, that's for sure, overall, in terms of the results. Ethan Ryan swerving and scything his way through a couple of challenges. Riley, fullback to dummy half.
Right, look at this left side, don't they?
Oh, there's space here, but it's shut down very quickly. Sneed has been directing traffic that way for much of the match. Laffey couldn't find the gap, though. Partington again. They all fancy it this afternoon, and why wouldn't they? Because this is the kind of game you love to play in if you're in the team in red. They're having some kind of day out here in Hull. Donald again. Ryan will come in at dummy half this time. He'll fancy adding to his try tally this season. Ethan Riley scored 5. That was a grab around the net, but play on Nicarima. McDonald, the offload comes to Ryan. And Ryan crabbing and now dancing through. Ethan Ryan. Desperate tackle, more desperate tackles. Looks at the ref, maybe hoping for another 6 again. Didn't come. Sneed feathers one through. Oh, fumbled. Play on the call at the moment. Picked up by Moy. And Moy with the first chance really this afternoon for the Hull fans to get on their feet and cheer something.
Well, Harvey Barron just manages to get a lucky bounce. It comes off his leg and goes to Logan Moy, and they get out of trouble.
Through that, 10 metres. Go first.
Walker, long ball, it's a dangerous ball, it could be collected by Laffey. It's loose now, it's on the deck, and the referee's going to have to blow this play dead. But for a moment there, as it went in the air, Laffey threatened to pluck it like an apple from a tree. Had gone a one-way ticket to the try line.
Well, it's the last thing that they needed to see, wasn't it? But like I say, he just knocks the ball on. It's a bit of a contest between him and Ed Chamberlain. And just looking down at the sidelines, I think it's Davey Litton. He's gone left the field, really struggling with his left leg, heavily strapped. I talked about him earlier, like big threat, good player, signed a new 2-year deal, missed the last 7 games, and obviously they've took the gamble because they busted. They're missing some senior players for Hull FC. Well, that young man put his hand up for the coach, Simon Griggs.
Well, it has been a tough time for Griggs and co. There was a mid-season rally. They did beat Wigan, as I mentioned, but they were competitive over a period of a few weeks. But then in the back end of the season, the wheels have rather fallen off, as we saw at Headingley last weekend when they got whacked 60-odd, 68, wasn't it? Yeah. They conceded.
Well,
so
they're the same players, you know, that they might be a bit fragile, but it's all these youngsters that are encouraging the Hull FC fans. These are the ones that are learning at the coalface. Lewis Martin, the man who's just got tackled then, a big future he's got.
Yeah, he's the top try scorer with 8. That's Jackie Chan, who's on the field now, the former Catland Dragon. Charles. This is as close as they got to the try line, I think, so far. Oh, and there's a loose ball this time. It is picked off, and it's the same man as Tim Laffey. Shut the gate. Laffey is going to make his a double. So easy. Well, he threatened that a matter of moments ago, and they gave him a second chance, but the video referee is going to be called on here. Aaron Moore says he's going to try on the field. What say you, Liam Moore?
Okay, like this is the try. We're looking to see if there's a knock-on by Tim Laffey. So you can see ball touches there, but it appears to miss the Hull player. So he's entitled to do that. So yeah, so he takes the ball, takes possession of the ball. So I'm going to play on through this point. So got to run it through to the grounding. And you can see he does ground the ball. I made my decision.
Well, it was close to a knock-on, but it wasn't a knock-on, and that means TRY time. And Tim Laffey repeats the feat from last season's trip to Hull when he bagged a brace. He's done it again, and he's got 2 tries in the first 34 minutes here. And Mark Sneyd, as he looks at this kick, is currently on 198 points for the Super League season, and this will take him through the 200-point barrier, assuming something doesn't happen catastrophic like missing from there. But that was almost a gimme. He could have knocked that over in his sleep. And well, Salford are putting Hull to sleep here, and this is about as comprehensive as it gets. A totally smothering performance.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from Salford, really professional in the way that they've turned up, the right attitude. Tim Laffey, instead of just panicking and batting that ball down and just going for the interception to stop the play continuing, he just pats the ball up, catches it. We went for it a couple of sets previous, but unfortunately on that occasion knocked the ball on with Ed Chamberlain.
Jordan Lane has passed his HIA for Hull FC, is back on the field, and Brad Fash has gone off. So a rare bit of good news for Hull FC on this most miserable of afternoons so far. And Salford have not been renowned for big wins and high-scoring performances this season. They have the worst points difference of all the teams contending for a playoff spot. But the 2 competition points they're going to get here will guarantee that they're playing in the postseason.
What I do like about Hull FC and the attitude of some of the players is they still turn up, they're still trying to do the right thing and pulling off big shots and trying to dislodge the ball, trying to stop the likes of Nene McDonald. That's a different thing though, isn't it? No, I was looking for that offload again. Just look around.
They beat Huddersfield by 60 points to 10. It's their best performance of the season. Was recent, round 23 that was, and that could well be eclipsed here today. Knock on is the call.
The call is the first touch was from a Hull player, saying that they've touched the ball. Whether or not he's saying that Chamberlain's got a hand on that.
And that's a Hull ball. Hull ball here.
Hull ball. Originally he did say it come off a Hull player and I couldn't see it.
Shot clock on, fellas. Miscommunication.
Well, we thought that Terry O'Connor's days of arguing with the referee ended when he hung up his boots, but he's still going at it.
Well, Ryan Brierley still got hold of the ball, thinking that it is theirs because the call went against them.
It's a whole ball, Terry.
Yeah.
It's a whole ball, and we're going to have to get on with it. If you're going to get a decision go against you, when you're 28-0 up isn't the worst time for it to happen. So Salford quite happy to just suck it up. Now they go into defensive mode for virtually the first time this afternoon, and Hull with a sight, or albeit a distant sight, of the Salford try line for the first time this afternoon. How close can they get? That was a very flat ball, but play on is the call. And Jack Charles doing that now. Charles trying to squirm out of a tackle, but Shane Wright wraps it up.
He's a genuine opportunist, Jack Charles, isn't he?
Walker drops that ball off to Gardner. Well, they're within 15 metres now. 3 tackles left in this sequence of 6.
Okay, yeah.
Chan again. Inside the 10, in the red zone now. Last tackle this time, says Aaron Moore.
Shortened it 5.
The kick comes. Batted down. Picked up by Salford, picked up by McDonald. McDonald offloads, that's knocked on this time. No question about that. They've got another set here from very close range.
Well, there'll be a big cheer if they can get over the white line. Another set restart here. Oh.
Set restart, it's all happening out there. They maintain possession.
Knock on, first one.
Well, Ed Chamberlain.
Bringing on Ed Chamberlain it was. So they...
It was a poor pass, wasn't it? They got a set restart. They got the ball back. And then they panic a bit.
Yeah, it's a knock-on after getting a set restart really is a cardinal sin, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, they're not used to playing in this area of the field during the year. They're not used to having a crack at the line. They've only averaged 2 tries a game scored. And then in McDonald, he gets the offload away, they lose the ball, they get the ball back, and then they just can't quite compete. There's a bit of panic with them.
So Salford from the scrum win. Go to work again here. Karima, and now Ryan. And he's away down his right-hand touchline, but that little sortie was short-lived for Ethan Ryan. Still in possession with Nicarima, now Mellor. Now Partington, seeing plenty of the ball in that middle area. And Ollie Partington, good offload to Mellor. Mellor swats away a tackle, now moves forward. Mellor knocked down and held down too, pinned down. Joe Mellor, he scored 1 try already this afternoon, fancies more. Lewis, Logan Lewis takes some stopping, but they do drag him down 10 metres out. Mellor at dummy half again. Sneed with the pass this time to Brierley, to Tim Laffey. Laffey hunting a first half hat-trick here. Oh, Dion Cross lurking on that left wing. This is a day to go to town if you're one of the Salford outside backs, I think. Bullock is shaping to offload every time they go into contact, and why wouldn't they? With this 28-0 lead in the first half. Final minute of the first half. Sneed floats it up to the try line, batted back, and Hull survive.
Well positioned, wasn't it, from Jordan Lane? They get a penalty as well for a high shot. And good play, knew exactly what was coming here. When Salford with Nene McDonald, when they kick the ball across field, Nene McDonald, Tim Laffey are two big threats in the earth. They go to pat the ball back to a player in a better position. It's a high shot from Lewis that they get. And there's a big call at half-time, I believe, from Paul Rowley. Just looking at Jaden Nicarima, who's really struggling with a knee injury there. Come on, got a bit of attention, waved the doctor away and the physio away, but whether he'll play in the second half, we'll wait and see.
The siren has gone. Walker dabs it through, but Aaron Moore has called a halt. And if it was boxing, he might as well stop the fight, because Salford have been totally dominant in this first half. 5 tries from the Red Devils, and they lead by 28-0 here. 2 of them from Tim Laffey, who bookended the scoring in 5 and 34 minutes. And sandwiched by those Laffey tries, Cross, Mellor and Singleton were also on the score sheet. And that is as dominant a first half as you could wish to see in the Super League for the Salford Red Devils, which allows him to communicate with his touch judges and with the video referee. So that needs to be fixed up before we get the second half underway here. Also this evening, Warrington go to Huddersfield, and then later on it's the Catalan Dragons against the London Broncos. Those are games you can see live on Sky Sports Plus if you have that on your subscription, and another busy night of Super League action. Then next weekend is the final round, the 27th and final round, which will sort out the playoff places good and proper. We'll know who the eliminator matches are going to be. But Paul Rowley can sit comfortably in that seat, and no, don't shake your head, Paul. You're in the playoffs, man. He should be very comfortable in that seat. He could, if it was legal to smoke it, he could unfurl a cigar and enjoy a nice Havana in the coach's seat there, because they've got the job done. Perhaps he'll uncork a glass of champagne, I don't know, Terry, but
he's not he's a perfectionist. He's not finished. He's got another 40 minutes. Well, his focus now is getting through this game. Yeah, I agree. He's thinking, look, the job's done. We can't make mistakes like that, like Shorrock's did.
Oh, that is an error, and that will not please Coach Rowley.
Was that his first touch of the game as well? Must have come on at half-time, makes the error.
Well, he might be told to sit down again. Paul Rowley is irritated, and he's every right to be.
Like I said, that the focus on him now is finishing this game off with a big game and a big build-up to next week, round 27 against Wigan.
And they move the scrum to the right of the post as Hull look at them here. Full set, 12 metres out. A dream start to the second stanza for the Black and Whites. Can they capitalise on it? They move it to that open side. Logan Moy, the teenage fullback. And finds Ashworth. Offloads nicely. This is Smith, the hooker. Morgan Smith trying to squirm towards the try line. Can Hull put points on the board here? Give their fans something to celebrate at the start of the second period. This is Moy stepping, but stuttering into a tackle. Smith again. Short ball.
Move square. Line. Go forward. In the back. He's on.
Well, it's Route 1 stuff at the moment, and they haven't found a way to the try line. The roadblock is up. Morgan Smith again. Walker this time kicks and collected on the floor, goalkeeper style, and it's that man Mark Sneed again.
A great pick-up from Mark Sneed, wasn't it? Hull FC just mixing up themselves, brought Denise Bamford onto the field now, along with Morgan Smith, so two running nines.
Yeah, Bamford scored a try in the return fixture at Salford earlier on in the season. They played well there, Hull, in that return game, and thanks to a late try from Lewis Martin, closed the final gap to just a couple of points. They were highly competitive, but they didn't win. Only 3 wins all season for the Black and Whites, all of them here against London, Leeds and Wigan. And there'll be people watching this thinking that they beat Wigan at home in July. How can that possibly have happened? But it did happen. Happened in black and white. The kick that bounces awkwardly for Hull, but it's kicked up by Martin.
Well, pretty dangerous then, just allowing that ball to bounce.
Yeah, and Barron does well, and Moy throws a dummy and now offloads to Martin, and he's half through a gap. But in the end, Bullock drags him down, but it is a penalty.
Well, there you go. They get one quick play of the ball. They get through a half gap and they force a penalty. They've been desperate for that, haven't they? Nice play from Lewis Martin. Speed, defenders caught on the ground, Logan Moy going from dummy half, tipping the ball onto Martin.
Look, in any game, any outcome is possible, Terry, not a matter how unlikely it may seem. But I'm going to chance my arm and say Hull can't win this game. But they can make it respectable and send the fans home with something to be pleased about.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they could knock a couple of tries on the board in the second half, that would do that. And this is better, much better. Looks like a different team out there. They're playing with much more positivity and panache at the start of this second half. There's no question about that. Jack Charles tried to squirm through.
Go free. Okay.
Oh, good read from Tim Laffey then. He picks Logan Moy up and just rams him into the ground.
Well, there's another HIA for Hull here. Jordan Lane is having an HIA, and that means Zach Jepson is on off the sidelines. That falls loose, picked up by Hull. Is it play on? Chan. Moy on the flying Moy. Never mind Superman when you've got Logan Moy. Has he scored? Time being blown off here by Aaron Moore. And now Liam Moore says, what do you think, Liam? I say no try.
Okay, tackle 5, no tries, a live decision. We can see they're onside from the kick, so let's play it on from this point. Looking to see if there's a knock-on in the air. Let's see. So it's a genuine contest. Eyes are on the ball. Then who is that? Who does that come off? Let's see if we've got something close on this. So who does this come off? Difficult to see on that one. Let's see any other angles. This may help as the angle. So does this touch an arm? Or does it just miss everyone? Yeah, that misses there. You can see it comes off his thigh. So there's clear separation there. That comes off his thigh. And then it's off Salford. So just confirm there is no knock-on after that. So I'm happy that the initial bit comes off his thigh. There's no knock-on off the whole man there. That is off his thigh. I've established that on the previous angle. So we'll run it on from here, confirming. Then that's off Salford. You can see that is off Salford. So this is play on at this point. Touches the whole man's leg, onto his leg. All right, we need to, this could be offside. So that touches his leg there. And I'm going to go on a wide now to establish where he is. Jackie Chan looks to be in front at that point. Yeah, you can see here, it hits the Jordan Lane's leg. And Jackie Chan, you can see his leg is in front. So therefore he's offside. He picks it up in an offside position. I've made my decision.
Offside, yeah. On the 10.
The try is ruled out. Chan was offside as he picked the ball up, as it bounced forward off the foot of Jordan Lane. It was okay up to that point, and Logan Moore has denied the most spectacular of scores.
You know, that's a
and when he looks out, Terry, he looks out.
Yeah, it is. Look, great play from Harvey Barron as well. Do you know, to get him into that position where he challenges Dion Cross. And poor Jackie Chan just stood in that offside position and denying Moy from scoring. But it's a brighter start in this second half, isn't it?
Much brighter, and they didn't get the 4 points they'll feel that their efforts in the first 5 minutes of the second half have deserved. So it remains at the half-time score of 28-0 to Salford. And was that an oasis for Hull FC or just a mirage? Is normal service going to be resumed by the Red Devils now, I wonder, as they move into Hull territory? Partington it is. And Mellor on the field, Shorts. They've got two hookers on as well, like Hull. That's loose. McDonald does well to backpedal to pick it up. Shows, goes, and is tackled in the end. Close to the stripe on the far side of the field, the Salford right. And that is Ryan.
Move!
They'll calm it down here, Mellor.
Yeah, good pressure from
Sneed.
Eden.
Joe Mellor, Ethan Ryan!
That's a towering bomb. And it is knocked on. And in fact, a penalty is going to be blown here, I think. Martin knocked on. I mean, absolutely monstrous kick by Mark Sneed. It went above the height of the stand over on the far side here at the MKM.
You can see it comes off Moy, and Martin stood in an offside position. Second time now it's caught them out.
Yeah, I mean, he really is the master of the aerial bombardment, Mark Sneed. And now they get a set near the line with Mellor, Nikarima and Nene McDonald, and he takes some stopping, and he isn't going to be stopped. He hasn't been stopped. His 12th try of the season, the former Leeds Rhino, Nene McDonald, charges in.
You know, he's so powerful. Supporters Player of the Year, and then the awards night earlier in the week. Powerful, creative. You know, his meters after contact is best in the business for me. and the mistake from Moy and Martin just gives the ball to Salford, and Salford will the change of direction from their near MacDonald and just keeps pumping those legs. He knows right in front of those travelling fans that this is going to be a real killer of a try. A try up the other end denied by Hull FC. They then come up the other end, a towering kick. They get a penalty on the back of that then. They just ask a few questions and scored a try.
12 for the season in his 25th game for Leeds, 3 in 20. So the try output has pretty much multiplied by a factor of 6 for Nene MacDonald. He's the player for Salford that Leeds hope to have signed. Mark Sneed adds another deuce, and they're up by 34. Paul Rowley. Pensive.
Well, Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty, I don't think they've actually realised that they're in front on the scoreboard. And then MacDonald doing a decent job there, and Simon Griggs. I'll be so disappointed because it was a bright start for them early on in the second half. Unfortunately, they didn't get the try that they wanted, and then they couldn't compete with the next couple of sets. And Salford were asking some questions.
Well, now Salford remove Ryan Brierley and bring on Chris Hankinson. Now that's something they had to do by necessity in the season when Hankinson played games during an injury absence for Ryan Brierley. Not sure if Brierley's injured again or whether Paul Rowley is thinking, let's take some players off here and rest them. Now they're going to play Wigan away next week. Now I don't know how he'll approach that game. Will he keep his big assets away from the fray then, knowing that the playoff game the week after is important, or go for the 4th spot? We'll see. They're going for tries here. Nicarima glides through. Long ball. Picked up again by MacDonald. Then MacDonald goes round in circles, but now moves forward. He's still going, MacDonald. A terrific sight within full flow. It's collected in the end by Ethan Ryan. Ryan looking to offload, but the tackle is made. It's completed. Mella. Salford rushing forward here, looking for more. They're going to get more. They're going to get more. And in the right place at the right time is Shane Wright.
Well, on his 50th appearance for Salford as well, 2 tries last year he scored against Hull FC. And he scores 1 here today, and they're just on fire. Salford.
Terry, Wright has missed 1 game this season, and that was the loss at Lee. So it shows what a key cog he is in the Salford wheel, and he gets, as you say, on his 50th appearance to try to celebrate.
Well, he's a quality
I'll tell
player.
you what, even you'd have scored from there, Terry. Mind you, you wouldn't have got there, would you, to be fair?
He's a quality player. He's got a lot about him, defensively, offensively. He's one of those players that, been given the opportunity here at Salford. Just his second try. When he's not playing, though, you do miss him.
It's a very well-oiled machine, this Salford Red Devils side. Now, ordinarily, you'd think a left-footed kicker from this side would be a little bit tricky, but this is Mark Sneed. Can he find the pinpoint accuracy again? He missed the opening conversion of the afternoon in the 5th minute, but since he's warmed up that left boot, he's kicked everything. Oh, and he strokes it through.
Well, they were caught for numbers over on the right-hand side. Hull FC, they were getting all caught out the balls that goes on the ground, and I think it was Harvey Barron that tried to come in and pick the ball up when it was loose. Unfortunately, it got away from him straight into the hands of Shane Wright. And they now find themselves 40 points behind Hull. Herman SAS.
As I mentioned, going on at the same time, the Warrington Wolves have travelled to the Huddersfield Giants, and the Wire on fire early, up by a dozen. 12-zip Warrington, still chasing the 2 teams above them, Wigan and Hull Kingston Rovers.
Rod Herman SAS is now on for the final half hour for Hull FC. Oh, Mark Sneed misses everybody with that ball. He's looking to set Dion Crosby on the sideline. the fans, the Hull FC fans, go up with the Sneed call.
We just saw Mark Sneed kick his 94th goal of the season from 106 attempts. Terry has worked out of the back of an envelope, that's 89%. Thank you, Terry.
Justice line, boys.
You're very welcome.
Line, Joe.
But he and Rhys Martin, the aces in the pack, as goal kicking is concerned.
So important, isn't it? You turn them forward into 6 points, especially when you get into the bigger games as well.
Indeed. Hull coming forward again, denied that try 5 minutes into the second half when Logan Moy thought he'd scored, but the offside was blown against Chan, so it was chalked off. But they knock on the door again. They've been much better in the second half, but they've still conceded twice. That's Lane who's wrapped up. Wants a quick play of the ball, not going to get it because Dale Cross is all over him. Moy. And Charles again. They'll keep it moving via Walker. This is better from Hull. And that's the winger, Lewis Martin. Martin had half a yard of space, but then it became just a few inches very quickly. SASA. He'll look to offload. He does offload like only he can. Charles. 20 metres out, but this is the last tackle. Have they got the kicking, the cultured kicking that Sneed has? It's a good one. It's bouncing around near the Salford try line. And Ethan Ryan tidies up with some help from Chris Hankinson.
Yeah, Lewis Martin goes up for that. He just can't quite get good contact on the ball to knock it backwards. He knocks it forward. You see he gets over the top of Ethan Ryan. Looking for, I think it was Zach Jebson.
Well, Salford trying to put on a few party pieces here, and Tim Laffey wants to put the candles on the cake. He scored twice already this afternoon. He's going to get a penalty here. Barnforth off the interchange bench concedes the penalty. The little flick of the leg as Laffey tried to get up. That's the penalty.
Yeah, that little second effort. Look, he knew that he was beat. They had him for speed. They had him for the around the ruck. They knew that if he gets up, plays that ball quickly, they're absolutely broken. They shot it all over the place. So Barnforth, even though he's young, coming up with that play, then just probably saves a try.
Yeah, he's 20 years old. They've got a lot of youngsters in this team, little local youngsters too, and a host of reinforcements arriving from Australia and elsewhere. It'll be interesting to see how bookmakers price up Hull's chances for next season. Clearly they're going to be better. Surely they're going to be better. Watkins, Callum Watkins, big Callum Watkins strides in for another Salford try. Well, he's been around since 2008 when he's made his debut for Leeds, an ever-presence for Salford this year, and his 5th try of the Super League season for the evergreen, ever-popular Callum Watkins.
Well, he's an absolute class act, isn't he? He's been a standout performer, ever-present. Look, he doesn't panic, hits really good lines. Like I said, made his debut for Leeds back in 2008 against North Wales Crusaders in the centre. Who would have thought, rolling forward 16 years, he'd be playing in the back row and he'd be 4th in the competition for tackles. That would never have been in the programme he would have been reading back when he was a youngster.
Oh, he's reinvented himself.
Hasn't he just?
And a tremendous talent. And 5 games without a try prior to this evening here, but he's got on the mark there to increase the misery for Simon Griggs and Franny Cummins, who quite understandably are having a brow furrowing competition on the gantry there. This has been a miserable afternoon. The second half has been much better, but they've still conceded 3 tries. Let's have it right. To McDonald, Wright, and now Watkins. And Sneed now looking to add more to the tally. As I mentioned, he kicked 10 goals when Salford visited Hull last year, and they've won 8 of their last 10 meetings with Salford. It's going to be 9 from 11 here. Mark Sneed wide out on the stripe on the right hand side. He'll set it out. Can he bring it back, bring it in, curl it back in? Can he curl it back in? My word, he can.
There you go. There you go. So important to this side. Callum Watkins scores the try. And his reward from scoring the try has been substituted. Ollie Partington onto the field for him.
Well, you'd feel, wouldn't you, Terry, that many, if not all, of these substitutions from Coach Rowley are with future matches in mind.
Yeah, surely he'll be looking at bringing off some of his players, some of his key men. Not saying that the other 13 players that's going to be left on the field aren't key men for them.
Yeah,
but maybe game time that they've played over the year, games that they've been playing. Like we said, Callum Watkins not missed a game for them this year.
All the points they scored today won't count for them. The points difference doesn't matter. All that mattered was winning the game. And they've both got one game to come. As I mentioned, Salford will go to Wigan next weekend, and Hull will host the Catalan Dragons. And that might be a game that they may need to win to avoid finishing bottom. It might be that they need to avoid a heavy defeat to avoid finishing bottom. We don't know, because London are playing the Catalan Dragons in France tonight. And Salford are putting on the style now, putting on the Ritz.
It's clinical, it's crisp, isn't it?
Well, they're playing a bit more expansively, I think, in the second half. They've laid the foundations. Now they're treating their fans to some silky smooth handling. Moy again, he gets this one, he catches that one. I mean, this is a torrid examination for the 19-year-old fullback. And it's one of those that you have to learn from, don't you? You know, they all drop the ball. Even the greatest fullbacks that have ever played the game have dropped the ball occasionally. But you have to learn, and learn quickly.
Yeah, it's that experience, speed of thought, speed of like what's coming on ahead of you. Like, he's been under some pressure, Logan Moy. They get a penalty. Harvey Barron come up with a good carry as well.
And in the rarefied air of the Super League, if the opposition smell a weakness and scent blood, they'll be all over you like a pack of vultures. And Salford defending here because Hull had the penalty for the infringement by Singleton, and now they move inside the Salford half of the field. They've scored 6 or fewer points in 3 of the last 4 games, Hull, and they haven't broken their duck so far this afternoon. Still hunting the first try of the day. They thought they'd got it through Logan Moy. It was chalked off. Smith to SASA. SASA gets the bumpers up, runs into Shorrocks, and Gil Dudson has to come in to assist on the tackle. That's Walker. Finds a man on his left shoulder, which is Smith. And SASA on the charge.
Great tackle from Nicarima and Joe Mellor.
Morgan Smith. The kick comes to this right-hand flank. Oh, it's dropped, and that would have been a try had he held it and dotted down. It was there for Harvey Barron. He got highest, but he couldn't handle the ball.
Well, great kick, wasn't it, from Jack Charles. Harvey Barron, like you said, just couldn't take that in. Oh, there was a big groan around the ground when he dropped that.
Well, 2 near misses in this second half. And Dion Cross maybe did just about enough to put him off as he backed into his man. This is Mellor. Mellor. It's good again from Salford. Here is Dion Cross. Cross stepping, goose stepping into challenges. Trying to get up and play the ball quickly. Plays the ball now to Mellor. Mark Sneed. Mark Sneed steps off the right foot. Lafay. McDonald's come over from the right centre to play in the left centre. Offloads to Cross. Cross finds Lafay. Hat-trick time. Tim Lafay trebles up. That was a brilliant Salford move, a brilliant Salford try. Both the centres involved, Lafay and McDonald. They really are a tremendous centre pairing, and they'll have enjoyed that, both of them.
Yeah, they're a great double act, aren't they? Like you said as well, when you were calling that, then Nene McDonald's come over from the right-hand side to get involved on the left. Nice footwork again, nice strength. Gets the ball to Cross. Cross then doesn't panic. Knows that Tim Lafay is just pushing up, supporting him. But what a strike partnership those centre pairings are in Lafay and Nene McDonald.
And Salford hoist the half-century in Hull. Lafay celebrates. He started the scoring in the 5th minute. He scored again 5 minutes before half-time. He scored again now on the hour mark. You could set your watch by Tim Lafay this afternoon. And Hull, who conceded over 50 against Lee at home back in March, have conceded 50 plus again here. Well, I say 50 plus, they've conceded exactly 50. I'm almost giving this to Mark Sneyd. He has missed one this afternoon, but from there you would expect Sneyd to add the additional extras.
You'd expect him to nail this one. And you get confident with ball in hand when you're playing the game. Also, you get confidence with the boot as well.
Well, intriguing to try and predict or conject upon who they'll play in the playoffs. He stroked that through, and they go to 52-0. It may be St Helens in the playoffs. Now, they've beaten St Helens home and away in the Super League this season, and then in a third meeting lost narrowly. So I don't think they'd be fazed by playing the Saints in the playoffs, Salford. But at the moment, it's all up in the air. It's all in flux. Any one of the four teams below Wigan and Hull KR, who we expect to be first and second, could be playing each other. So it'll all become clear by next weekend's action finishing. So it's going to be fascinating, isn't it, Terry, to see who plays who?
Look, I don't think there's a couple of teams that I don't think will be worried about playing anybody. You know, you've got your standout teams, your standout performers in the competition, the likes of Hull KR, the likes of Wigan. But when you go down the list and you look at the teams that are going to make the six up, whether it be Salford and whether it's going to be Leigh, I think both of those sides could give it a real good shake-up.
Nene McDonald was threatening to give it a real good shake-up there. Here's Hankinson. He scored the match-winning try against Saints in the home game right at the end. That was another brilliant Salford try.
See, it's worrying now, Rod. You just look how easy it is for them to get over the advantage line.
Gil Dudson gets up, plays the ball after a lot of attention. Mellor, they're aiming for Mellor all the time, for Nene McDonald all the time. There's a hint of a knock on there, not blown though. And Mellor again, and Partington again, and Sneyd with the left-footed bomb. And this time it is collected by Harvey Barron.
Well, there you go. That's what it call about learning on the job. That again, he was under some real pressure from a towering kick, but he doesn't panic.
Police too. You got there, Gil too.
Well, they've been better in the second half, but they have conceded points at regular intervals. 24. They conceded 28 in the first half when they were choked to death, but they've conceded 24 when they've been better. So one would have to say that Salford have been better in the second half as well. They've been better with ball in hand. I think that's fair to say.
Well, the first 5 minutes they seemed to go up, didn't they, a different level after the words of wisdom from Simon Griggs.
Yeah,
that's a great kick.
Hankinson collects. He's calm, he's cool, and he collects. And he breaks a tackle, or half breaks a tackle.
And that's where they'll be disappointed, on the back of that kick, where Hankinson manages to get through the line, play the ball quickly. Ethan Ryan now comes up with another strong carry.
Dangerous runner, Hankinson, and can play anywhere, centres, fullback, all sorts. Very versatile. Good man to have on the interchange bench, I think. And there's a beautiful siding run from Nicarima. Great run from Nicarima. They're on the roll now. Sneyd opts to kick, collected by Barron. He'll be tackled in goal. They'll get a repeat set here as Ollie Partington wrestles Harvey Barron to the ground, and it's a GLDO.
You read the game and you play what's in front of you. Mark Sneyd knew that Logan Moy had come up, he'd been involved in the tackle before. There was no fullback in place. That's the reason why he chips the ball over the top. But good recognition from the winger, Harvey Barron, to get that ball, even though they've got another set of six to compete with here and to contest.
15 minutes left, and the game won in terms of the point. Oh, they've collected the short dropout. Brilliant stuff. Sensational stuff from Hull FC. Lewis Martin. There's been a lot of talk about short dropouts this season, but that one worked, and no mistake. And there was nothing to lose, really. If it had gone wrong and they conceded the game, so what? Here they go. This is much better. Jordan Lane.
Nice play from them. They went for broke, it come off Lewis Martin, got it as well.
Charles, and they're on the charge here. Central position, 15 metres inside the Salford half. Will Gardner that was. And this is Charles again. No room this time. Plays the ball. Smith. It has been knocked on by Shorrocks, and picked up here. Walker with the pass wide. And a try, but this might be going to the video referee this time. Is that a try this time? It's going to be another video refereeing decision here for Liam Moore. This time a try on the field from Aaron Moore.
Okay, the live decision is a try on field. We're looking to see if there's a knock-on off Hull or Salford in the build-up. So you can see the ball is passed at this point. Yeah. You can see that's off Shorrocks. That is off Shorrocks. There's no touch from Hull there visible. So we'll play on from this point. I'm happy to play it through now. So we're going to go all the way to the grounding. And we'll finish on the ground. You can see the ball is grounded. Made my decision.
Well, Zach Jebson has just scored his first try of Super League 2024. Try given, and Hull get what they deserved in this second half. They've been much better. They've been much more threatening. They've been close to scoring on 2 other occasions, and now they have scored, and Zach Jebson is the man to get the rewards.
Well, they go for the gamble with the short kick-off, and it comes off, doesn't it? Lewis Martin gets him on the front foot, doesn't panic whatsoever, and it's good play. All the youngsters that are involved in this play. Now you look at Jack Walker, he's only 25, he goes for the big play, getting it out wide to Zach Jebson. It was a little tip-on to Jack Ashworth that was with him, screaming for the ball. He goes over the top, thinking that Ethan Ryan was going to pull him back. But that's all the Hull fans wanted. They wanted to see a bit of fight. They wanted to see some points. And that young man, Zach Jebson, scored them.
It might have been a throwback to the old free play, wasn't it? Because it was a knock-on by Shorrocks, and had it gone wrong, that long pass, they might have just blown it back and gone for the scrum down. The kick is missed by Jack Charles.
Well, again, you want a bit of fight, don't you? Simon Griggs will be working alongside John Cartwright next week. Jack Walker goes through here, the big ball over the top, and gives it to Jebson in space. Just 20 years of age, one of those youngsters that have come through the system. 9 of them on shore today here for Hull.
Well, that's what I'm saying about next season. If these players will be a season older and a season better, you would think, and they've got players coming in like Rapinoe and Abdul and Caesar and Asiata. They must be better, surely.
Well, there's some good senior pros there that you've named. Everyone you talk to about Jordan Rabner says he's a real good. Look at Lewis Martin.
Martin
here.
Can move. Wow. He's got the moves. He's got to the halfway line. He's not happy with that. What's the referee going to blow here? Is that a knock-on or is it a penalty? It's a knock-on. He can't believe his luck.
Yeah, they're saying that Nenna McDonald's just dragged him down and he loses the ball. They'll be disappointed, but some really good shows here from some of the youngsters. He's impressing everybody. Lewis Martin, another one of those youngsters, just 20 years of age. Logan Moy, 19. David Litton, 21. Jack Charles, 18. He's already played 16 games. Incredible.
Yeah, Martin signed a 2-year extension to his contract. He scored 8 of their, well, what is now 59 tries this season. He's been a shining light in a very dark year. It looks like he's the goods on that left wing. I think he'll score a lot of tries in Super League, injuries permitting, of course. Lafay, who is scoring a lot of tries in Super League, and he's still going here, Lafay.
Yeah, look at that.
He really has been at the top of his game this afternoon, Tim Lafay. Been a brilliant performance. He scored 3 of the tries. Mark Sneed to Hankinson. Hankinson dangerous at that range from the try line. We know that. Here's Joe Mellor again. Partington. Is there more on here for Salford? Partington spins it to Shorrocks, and Shorrocks to Nicarima, to Nene McDonald. It'd be no surprise to see him score again, that is for sure. And here he is to the line. Dragged down just short of the try line. Plays the ball. It's a messy play, the ball. Joe Mellor has it now. Mellor almost caught in possession and knocked on by Mark Sneed.
There's some good inside pressure from Denis Bamforth then. Makes it into a sloppy pass from Joe Mellor. Mark Sneed just can't take that ball, just dipping down in front of him. And again, just a bit of fight again from Hull FC, some desperate defence from them.
Well, let's give you an update on the game that's slightly behind this one, and my word, well, we thought Salford were winning easily here at 52 points to 4 with 9 minutes left, but bear in mind this kicked off at 6, and Warrington are 30-0 up at Huddersfield as Sam Burgess's boys going to town on the Giants at the John Smiths. So they're going to win, and they're going to keep the pressure on Hull KR.
Oh, what about Ollie Partington then? Really honed in on Harvey Barron. But some teams putting on some big performances this weekend, aren't they?
Well, the playoff-bound teams are flexing their muscles, Terry, I think it's fair to say. Yeah. Big win by Wigan, big win by Hull KR, big win by Salford, big win by The Wire. They're all flexing their muscles. Saints won easy as well. Lee in the playoff mix lost to Hull KR. So they're the losers this week. Offload again from SASA. Loose on the floor. Hull pick it up. Knock on, says the call from the referee. A forward pass, perhaps.
Yeah, he gets the call from the sideline, doesn't he?
Former Hull KR man, Yusuf Aydin, is disappointed.
We've said plenty of times since he's crossed the divide and come to the other side of the city. What a decent pickup Yusuf Aydin's been for Hull FC.
It's been feast and famine here in Hull this year in Rugby League. If you're a Hull KR fan, you've been dining out all season. If you're a Hull FC fan, you've been feeding on scraps. But one season can be bad, the next can still be better, Terry, can't it?
Well, that's what they'll be hoping if you're in the black and white side of the city.
Sneed, they're hoping to be finishing their season at Old Trafford, knocked on by Shorrocks.
What you will say about Salford in today's game, they've got away with it, and obviously the scoreline suggests that, and they have, when they've needed to score points, they have been. But there's a number of times in this game that they've gone to shift the ball, and there's a loose pass on the floor. They won't get away with that, and they know they won't get away with that come playoff time.
The two halves have been very different. In the first half, they were very disciplined with and without the ball, and they choked the life out of Hull FC. In the second half, Salford have tried to be more expansive. The game has opened up, and there's been more chances at either end. As you say, some of those chances have been bombed by Salford with loose passing. Different type of game in the second stanza here, but the outcome has been the same. In terms of the fact Salford have won the second half easily, they won the first half easily. 28-0 it was at half-time, and 24-4 in the second half to Salford. 7 minutes left. Who'll have the final word in this contest? Hull trying to have the final word. And there was a moment when Hull went to the bottom of the table here because they had 51 points difference ahead of London Broncos. They were losing by more than that at one point in this game, but now they're back off the bottom, losing by 48. The kick through here, collected by Dion Cross, and Cross is absolutely smothered and dragged backwards towards his own line.
You like the look of these two wingers for Hull FC, the two youngsters. Harvey Barron here comes up with a good strong tackle on Dion Cross, and Lewis Martin. They've certainly played well.
Right, 74 minutes gone. Salford up 52 points to 4 in front here. Now Terry is going to pick the player of the match this afternoon. Now let's not faff around here, Terry. Have you got the player of the match for us?
Look, there's been some huge performances, but I'm going to go with Tim Laffey. I thought he's been very dangerous.
Tim Laffey it is, and who could quibble with Terry O'Connor there, the hat-trick hero?
Many people.
Well, me for one, usually, but not on this occasion, Terence. Tim Laffey, the player of the match. He started the scoring, and he's added 2 more tries as well.
He's another player that I've been really impressed with, Brad Singleton.
Well, he's got that try to celebrate, hasn't he, Brad Singleton? First try for 2 years. Sneed! A rarity this, Mark Sneed in a Salford win is not going to be the player of the match, but he's been usurped by Tim Laffey. Moy! An elusive runner at full-back.
Again, the young man just trying to use his footwork here. They still want to finish with some points in the final 5 minutes.
Well, I think Hull will be more satisfied with the second half than the first. There's no question about that. There's been much more to please the Hull fans in the second period, but in the end they've been well beaten in it as well. It's been a really tough afternoon. They've had a lot of tough afternoons in 2024. SA, he's a tough man.
Well, that's it. If you want to pick the game apart and take some positives into next week's game, you've got to try and pick the players up. They've had 2 bad defeats here the last couple of weeks. Leeds last week and now against Salford.
Jack Walker offloads. It's picked up by Salford. And Salford have the ball back here in Hull territory, and that spells danger. Well, the playoff picture will be clear next week. Who will have a seat in the playoffs when the music stops after 27 rounds? Salford will do. That's no question about that. They are in the playoffs. All doubt removed by their performance and victory here at the MKM this afternoon. Nicarima, and here he is. Nene McDonald. He must have been a runner for player of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. So destructive. Them two, like I said, the build-up to try. Here he goes again. Offload
to Sneed. Sneed dancing his way through. Anyone there support? No, he's tackled. And Aidan will just put a hand on Mark Sneed, and that will complete the tackle. Is he hurt? No, he's back to his feet. Joe Mellor to Singleton. He could bag 2. Offloads. Mellor again. Joe Mellor scores. He bags a second himself. I thought Singleton was going to make it a double, but it's Joe Mellor on the score sheet. Late on, 77-minute try for Joe Mellor.
We're so composed, Joe Mellor. Another one of those players who's just come up with an awful lot of direction around that ruck area, bringing the forwards onto the ball. Nene McDonald, just so powerful. We said in the build-up to Tim Laffey's 3rd try, just how strong they are together. Mark Sneed going for it. He thinks that he's going to get 3. And then all of a sudden, Brad Singleton comes crashing onto the ball, does a decent job, and Joe Mellor just benefits from it. You can see the talk between Joe Mellor and Singleton. Doesn't panic, goes over the top, does Yusuf Aiden. And Joe Mellor, Johnny on the spot, just keeps his composure, doesn't throw that ball, and knows that he can get to the try line himself.
In great form, Joe Mellor, in the last couple of weeks. That's 4 tries in 3 games now for the hooker. And Mark Sneed, when he was last in Hull playing in Salford colours last year, he kicked 10 goals. This potentially is his 9th. They've scored 10 tries this afternoon. They've got into double figures on the try tally. Sneed. Oh, and he even uses the upright to caress the ball between the sticks again. Mark Sneed, 9 out of 10 this afternoon. A standard afternoon. He kicks at just under 90% in the Super League this year. 9 out of 10 this afternoon. Percentage-wise, Terry, what's that? Oh, sorry. Teasing you, Terry.
It's okay, I wasn't listening to you, to be fair.
Well, you're a good judge. 78 minutes on the clock. That may well be the end of the scoring. 58 points to 4. Mark Sneed with another 18 points. Shorrocks collects that. Can they be expansive from deep? Can they go the length in the last couple of minutes here, Salford?
You know, how many times we've seen players come to Salford, put a jersey on and then resurrect the career? I think Joe Bullock's going to be one of those players. He's played really, really well for Salford. Started his career as a winger, so he's got plenty of speed. Here he goes again. Big, tall, powerful, 115 kilos.
Yeah, Paul Rowley's been very adept in the recruitment market, no question. Sneed, lovely spinning ball to Dion Cross. Cross wrapped up, but still moving forward, getting some good metres after contact here. Dion Cross scored a try in the first half, now dumped to the deck. As we approach the final minute, Hull with 1 home game to go against the Catalans. Salford will go to the tournament favourites Wigan next Thursday. Mellor hacks it forward, right to Sneed. Sneed chips one forward, it'll go over the sideline, marshalled over the sideline by Harvey Barron. Good composure there in the 80th minute of a long bursting afternoon for the Hull winger. And they will have last use of the ball in the final few seconds, the dying embers of this match.
I said, been really impressed with the 2 wingers for Hull FC. Brad Singleton gets the ball away. I thought the ball was going to go forward for 1 minute.
And by my maths, with the winning margin for Salford currently at 54, the losing deficit of 54 for Hull. This means at this moment in time, pending the result of the match in France between Catalan and London, Hull are at the foot of the Super League. Hankinson trying to make matters worse, chips ahead, can he regather? Hankinson puts the gloss on the finish. Did he get it down? That's the question. Aaron Moore is unsure. Liam Moore will clarify matters. No try on the field. Over to you, Liam.
Okay, live decision of no try. We'll go through the process, confirming Hankinson is the kicker. He's onside, so we're going to look at the grounding now. We're going to play it through to the grounding. So, does he ground the ball? Live decision, no try. And sees going in, does he ground it? Difficult to see on that one. Difficult to see if he's grounded the ball or has he just missed it completely. The ball bounces up, which appears to suggest that no pressure down on the ball. Let's work our way through the angles. He looks to miss it on that one. See if there's any other angles. Again, so does he ground this ball? He looks to miss it on this one as well. There's no, you can see the ball bounces up and his arm's away from the ball there, you can see. So his right arm is on the floor at that point. He's down, so it's not on top of the ball. Yeah, so there's no evidence here that he's in grounded this ball. I'm going to finish on this one. Yeah, there's no evidence to suggest he's grounded this ball, and I can flip back to the camera 5, which shows his hands actually down. Now, the live decision is no try on field, and I do not have sufficient evidence to overturn that. So we're going to see what happens to the ball. So it's play on. He's missed it at this point. So let's see what happens in terms of the ball. Go back on this, confirming. So at this point, confirming Hankinson's missed the ball. So it's play on at this point. The ball's still live. So what happens to this ball? So the Hull man picks it up. Let's see what happens. And the Hull man takes it dead. Thank you, I made my decision.
Well, Salford have not gone through the 60-point barrier here because Chris Hankinson has failed to finish off the move that he crafted himself, crafted the opportunity himself but didn't take it. And, well, that's it, because there'll be no time for the ensuing goal line dropout, and Salford don't make it 11 tries, but 10 will do just as well. It's a big, big win for Salford in every sense. It's a big winning margin, but it's a big and significant win because it means that these Salford Red Devils are in the playoffs for Super League 2024. They've got the job done with a match to spare. They will go to Wigan next week, but the result of that will not matter in terms of being in the playoffs. It may affect their finishing position as they look for a home tie in the eliminator, but they've got the job done thanks in no small measure to that man, Tim Laffey, who hat-trick today, 3 of their 10 tries. He started the scoring and he scored 2 in the first half, 1 in the second. Brilliant performance from the centre.